Hey guys, in this video, I'll be voicing over the time I played with my friend in Build a Boat for Treasure. So, when I joined the game, I had to obviously figure out what color he was and ask to go onto his team. Once he got onto his team, I went over to him and I wanted to show him some of the builds I'd saved. I started off with my jet, but first, I wanted to see if he was not AFK. He wasn't, so I went to my save file and showed him my jet. And he was like, "Whoa, what is this thing?" And I was like, "Me jet." And he's like, "Can I go in your jet?" Or no, you jet. And I was like, "Yes." So then I showed him how it can fly. And then when we took off, we saw this really long pink thingy. And we have no idea what it was. And so I showed my friend how I put explosives into it. And so he asked me if he can go closer to this pink thingy that's really, really long. So we do. And we get into it. And then my plane loses control and my friend jumps out of it. Then he goes zooming away and is like, "Oh my gosh, this thing's lightning speed." So then I jump out and get instantly taken away from my jet. And I'm like, "My jet!" And then we're just zooming across and it just launches me into a rock and I explode into pieces. And then when we respawn, I realize what I think it is. And I realize what it is. So I was like, it's a money grinder. The person who made that and has went AFK and is just grinding money in this. So then next, I showed him my huge car. And he was like, "What are you spawning?" And I was like, "I'm spawning my car." And he's like, "Whoa, how do you get such big wheels?" And I was like, "I have no idea. It just gave it to me." And then I asked him if he wanted to do a PvP battle, but he didn't really want to. So I was just going to show him my car and then we were just going to build something else. So anyways, he said, "Well, I'm going to build a flying car." So he asked me how to save first though, but I don't know how he doesn't know how to save because he's been playing this game longer than I have. So I showed him how to save, and so then he was going to start building his flying car. And I was just getting my jetpack because I put a teleporter that leads to my car. So I had to, get the jetpack so I can get to the teleporter. And I spawned an extra one in case my friend wanted to come in too. See, there's the teleporter. So yeah, I just flying in there. And then I was going to take my car into the end. But I wanted to come back sometimes just to see what my friend's doing. So I got into the driver's seat and then I launched. But yeah. Then my friend was like, "Yay!" So he had to die and he launched his thingy into the air and it was going haywire. That thing was going crazy and then it disappeared. I did not see it again. But my friend had to die so he could build again. But I couldn't, for some reason, get my car to turn the way I wanted it to. But then I finally got it somewhat the way I wanted it to be. And got out because my car can move by itself, And came back out to see what my friend was building because that thing you made earlier was pretty weird. But, yeah, I was just telling him that he can come in if he wants to. And, yeah, this is when he was starting to build the flying car, and I didn't really need to watch it, so I was just seeing what he was going to use to build it, and I was going to head back to my car. So I was just flying around talking to him, but yeah. Then I got up and I was heading back towards my teleporter and just landed back down instead because I didn't really get to see much of what he was using. And then just running around, and then I finally went to my teleporter to go into the car to check on where it was, and it was in the mushroom place. So yeah, then I somehow went back through even though I was on the side. So I went back through again, and it wouldn't work. And then I went in, and it put me on the wrong side. But I was saying that maybe this big thing would help cover me if in those like areas that throw things. Like, let's say there's like that musical one where they shoot music notes at you. Wouldn't that maybe that pink thing would cover it, or it would already be focused on it? So then I go back to my friend, and I see that he's using these things, and I'm like, "What is that for? Just use something else." And he's like, "No, it's a good for." And I'm like, "No, it's not." And look, he's not even placing it that well. But then I start heading towards the start to this pink long thingy, and I'm like, yeah, this thing is definitely longer. It's just a really, really big like money grinder. So yeah, then I drop back on and get shot through the whole thing. I'm like, geez, I wonder how long and how much material and how much money it cost to make this. And then when I got to the end, it shot me off, but I flew up, and so I slowed down so fast. But yeah, I kept flying. But since it's gonna take forever to fly to the end, I just dropped down and got hit by. I just dropped down and died in the water, and then some of my body parts literally hit a rock and destroyed it. So yeah. Then I respawned and I loaded back my car because I wanted to turn my car into a flying car, and my friend finished his and lost control. He was like, literally couldn't control it. And so since he launched it, I had to die after, and so I could so I can like build my car and turn it into a flying car. And he was still out of control. And I was like, do you know how to control this thing? And he was like, a little bit. And then a little bit later, still not able to control it. He was like, okay, fine. Maybe I can control it. But, like, I was like, no, really. Of course you can't control it. Look at you. He put 3 jets on that small car. So anyways, I was going to try and build a car like his. But then I realized, wait, I have a huge car already pre-built. So I cleared all my stuff and loaded my car up. But since this car was literally made out of all individual blocks, it takes forever to spawn it. So this time, since there's nothing I really did, I just waited, I'll speed this part up. Now my car's finished, and I was asking my friend if he wanted to go in because last time he didn't want to. And so I went on the roof and started adding jets, and he was like, okay, I'll help you because this thing is huge. So he added 6 jets plus my 3, which is 9 jets on my car. So I was like, okay, it's gonna fly. So then I was telling him how I have a teleporter connected to it so you can get inside. And he was like, oh, where's the teleporter? And I told him it was on the side. And so he was like, how do I put on this jetpack? So I guess he hasn't played this game in a while because he forgot how to put on a jetpack. But anyways, I made it to the teleporter and went in, and it was connected to my old car, and it was at the lighthouse area, which is really close to the end. So I was like, whatever you do, don't go in. It's the wrong car. And he's like, but still, I want to go inside. So he went through, and he was like, oh my goodness, it's at the end. And so I launched my boat so, it counts for where we're going. And then I went back. We both were glitching back and forth through. And I was like, my car, since it won't let me teleport to the other one. And then I got in and deployed my force field, which instantly got destroyed. And I was like, and I didn't know where my friend went, so I was like, hurry up and get through before the teleporter gets destroyed. And he said, who said I was in the teleporter? And then I was like, then where are you? And he said, how about you look up? And so I zoomed out and looked up on my roof, and he was on the roof, and he was like, I'm just built different. And I was like, you're not built different. And then just jumped on and was like, see, you're nowhere near built different. And then we both said at the same time, oh no, the waterfall. And then I used my brain and just jumped back in and went into my driver's seat so I didn't like fall out. But my friend didn't and just jumped out and started using the jetpack since it has infinite fuel. And so I fell and survived the fall because you don't fall out your seat when you're upside down or like getting flipped. So then I jumped out and just waited for my car to get to the end and watched my friend as he was slowly floating behind me, trying to get to the end. And yes, I know, I could have probably done a PvP against him, but I asked him and he said he didn't really want to. So I'm not going to force my friend to do anything for a video. But then I made an unland and he was like, come on, get your slowpoke self over here. And then I made it to the chest before him. And he didn't even get to the island before I got respawned at the start. But yeah, that was easy for me. So easy. But yeah, then I got my gold block and died and went to the start. And so I was just waiting for my friend to come back because I was gonna show him my big boat. That was the last like save I had. So I was gonna show it to him. And so I was loading that thing in, and yeah, man, a lot of things happened. But first, I spawned my plane in the meantime, just so I can fly a little bit. And so I launched my plane, and really, I just wanted my plane so I can go back onto that pink thingy while I wait for my friend. And so my plane is just doing flips on the ground, and I'm trying to get my engine to start, and then it does, and he was like, wait for me, and I was like, okay, I'm coming. So then I dropped myself out at the perfect spot till I'm back on the pink thing, and my plane is just flying away, and he was like, and I was like, do you see my plane? And he's like, no. And I was like, how do I see it all the way over here, but you can't see it when you're really close to it? But after the like tornado area and stuff, I could not see it. And then I got shot into a rock and lost my legs. And then died because I couldn't get out the water. And then my body parts again destroyed some of the rock. And then, like, I got a lot of money from that because, you know, I got shot through all the places. But then I was looking out for my plane and it wasn't there. So this time, I was going to spawn my big boat. Because I wanted to show him that build. And he was like, and he was looking at the front and he was like, this boat is really small. And he was like, and then he walked to the side and was like, oh, it was just the front of it. And I don't get how he didn't notice that. But I was like, listen to me. This boat is really big. Trust me, it's really big. And then I told him that the teleporter leads him to safety. And then when I went through the teleporter, it brought me back to my old jet that I sent a while ago. And it just shot me out to my death. Because it's all the way out in the void now. And so I told my friend as a joke, go through it because it leads him to somewhere safe. And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. It gives you a lot of money. And so I went through it again just as a joke to show him it's safe, trust me. And then he went through it, and since I was sitting with him, I looked at his screen, and all I saw was the blue void and him falling. And then he looked at me with a straight face, and I was dying. It was so funny. But then I was going to get back into my boat, and I fell into my same trap again. But that is it for this video, guys, and I'll see y'all later. Goodbye.